Now we have to apply the Gauss law and find the electric field intensity at the different cases. For example, first case is we have to find the electric field due to a uniformly charged non-conducting charge sphere. Means there is a sphere, this is non-conducting. If sphere is conducting, then charge given to a sphere will lie finally at the outside surface. But in the non-conducting sphere, this charge lying on the surface as well as inside. And we have saying it is uniformly charged. That means charge is distributed over its volume. And suppose Q is the charge given to this sphere, non-conducting sphere, and R is the radius. So this is the radius R. And we have to find, and this charge is uniformly distributed over the volume. So we can say its charge density is total charge by total volume, that is 4 by 3 pi R cube. This is the volume charge density. Now we have to find the electric field due to this charge distribution when R is greater than capital R. That means it is a outside point from the sphere, or R is less than capital R, that is it is inside point in the sphere. So we first take the case R is greater than capital R. For this, we redraw the figure again. This is the sphere which has total charge distributed over its volume. It is the center and radius of this sphere is R. Now suppose we have taken a point P, which is a distance R from the center. Now we draw the Gaussian surface through the point P, and it is taken spherical, which is concentric with the center of the non-conducting sphere. So this is a Gaussian surface, and radius of this Gaussian surface is small r. Now we check the direction of field and surface area to apply the Gauss law. At the point P, because distribution of charge in the non-conducting sphere is uniform, so we can say it is symmetric for each point on the Gaussian surface, and field will be outward, radially outward, and surface area is also perpendicular to the, this is the point which has taken at the surface and it is perpendicular outward direction. So we can say this electric field E and surface area ds are parallel, and E is uniform because E is having the equal magnitude, because distribution of the charge with respect to the point of the surface is same for each and every point, and direction is along the radius. Similarly, if we take another point or the surface area on the Gaussian surface and its direction is normal to the surface and field is also radially outward, it is E and it is ds. Therefore, we can say at each and every point on the surface, electric field E and the surface area, elementary surface area ds are in the same direction. Therefore, we can apply now the Gauss law, that is integral E dot ds equal to Q enclosed by epsilon naught. This is the Gauss law. And applying this law for this Gaussian surface, we find integral E, this is the magnitude of the electric field, ds, this is the magnitude of surface area, and cos of the angle between them. And we see that E and ds are always parallel, therefore it is 0 degree. And charge enclosed, because this Gaussian surface enclosing the whole sphere of radius r, which contains the total charge q, so we can say Gaussian surfaces encloses whole charge, so it is q by epsilon naught. Cos 0 is 1 and E is constant in magnitude, so we take this constant E out of the integral, so we get integral ds. Cos 0 is 1, so we remove it and remaining is q by epsilon naught. Now surface area, because Gaussian surface is spherical, it is spherical. So surface area will be, total surface area will be, if we integrate it, it will be 4 pi, and the radius of the Gaussian surface is r. So this surface area is 4 pi r square. This is the small r square. So we can write it is E into 4 pi r square equal to q by epsilon naught, or we can say E equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught into r square. Also we can write it in the form which we know, it is q by r square, and this is similar to the formula which is for the point charges. So here we can suppose that for a outside point, the charge on the non-conducting sphere, which is distributed uniformly over its volume, can be considered as concentrated at the center, and electric field due to this non-conducting sphere will be just like a point charge. It is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q by r square. Now we take the second case when r is less than capital R. That is, point lies inside the non-conducting sphere. Suppose this is the sphere. This is the non-conducting sphere of radius r, and it has total charge q and distributed over its volume. Q is the charge and r is the radius. Now we have taken a point P. For P, this r, which is at a distance r, and this r is less than capital R, which means point P lies inside the non-conducting sphere. For finding the field at P, we draw a Gaussian surface. This Gaussian surface is also spherical. Its radius is r, and now as per Gauss law, the charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface is, if we write what is the charge, it will be charge enclosed by Gaussian surface will be equal to charge density, that is rho, into volume of the sphere enclosed by the Gaussian surface, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube. And if we check the density, density is total charge, that is q, by total volume of the sphere, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube into 4 by 3 pi r cube. This 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi will be cancelled, and the charge enclosed is q r cube by capital R cube. So this is the charge which causes the electric field at the point P. So we write the Gauss law. As per Gauss law, electric flux integral E dot ds equal to q by epsilon naught, and this is q is the q enclosed. Here we can write it as integral E ds cos theta, that is equal to q enclosed by epsilon naught. Cos theta is, if we check again here and take a elementary surface area ds, the ds will be outward and perpendicular to the surface, this is ds, and electric field will be also in the direction of ds, because distribution of the charge is symmetric for all the points on the surface of the Gaussian surface. Therefore, magnitude of the electric field remains same for all surface points. This implies that we can take this E out of the integral, remaining is ds, and this cos theta is cos 0 and cos 0 is 1. Therefore, it remains E integral ds, that is equal to q enclosed, and q enclosed we have calculated, it is q into r cube by capital R cube into epsilon naught. Hence, integral of ds, that is the surface area of the Gaussian surface, is 4 pi small r square, because small r is the radius of the Gaussian surface. So it will be q r cube by r cube epsilon naught. Therefore, E will be equal to, we can write it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, then q r cube by r cube into r square. And this r square will be cancelled out by this cube, and remaining is E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q r by r cube. This is the formula of the electric field at the point inside the non-conducting sphere. Hence, we summarize our result that for non-conducting sphere, if R is greater than capital R, then field will be like the point charge focus at the center, this is Q by R square. And if R is less than capital R, then E is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q into R by R cube. This equation says that E is proportional to 1 by R square for the outside point, and here E is proportional to R. And third, if we want to find the field at R equal to 0, that is at the center of the sphere, at the center of the sphere is the special case of the second case, because R is less than capital R and 0 is less than capital R. Hence, here we will put the value of R 0. It means at the center, electric field will be 0. Similarly, we can find the electric field at the surface. At the surface, we can use any of the formulas like 1 or 2. They will give 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by, and we will replace R by capital R, we will get R square. And the field will be radially outwards.